in the ring.
Yes.
That means we are in studio. We're joined by Greg Cox, the CEO of Kalakoda East Africa, and we want to understand boxing in the region. We want to understand what Kalakoda is doing to help promote boxing in Kenya and of course by far East African region. Karibu sana SportyFM.
Asante sana.
Yeah.
You've picked up some Swahili words.
Sijui.
Interesting.
But how long have you been in Kenya?
I think maybe 5 years, like with a little break back to the UK, but the last 5 years pretty much full on. And no plans, especially now with what we've launched. I'm tied for a few more years, courtesy of TV47 and
yeah. No wonder the Swahili.
Yes, picked up a few Swahili words as well.
So far, you like the Kenyan food?
Certain aspects. Ugali sipendi, pole. Kwa sababu every time I get ugali, I feel everyone's watching to see how will this guy treat
how
his
you
food.
eat it.
Yeah, so the pressure, the spotlight's on. I'm like, my hands start shaking. So, but
of course, nyama choma you something.
Nyama choma iko sawa, pilau iko sawa, mahamri, mzuri, but still have my Mazungu foods.
Karibu sana. Of course, let's talk about the company Kalakoda. Me, when I first saw the name Kalakoda, I'm just interested in the name. We are Africans. Names are very, very key.
Yeah.
Why the name Kalakoda? I really want to understand.
This is way before my time. But the current owner of Kalakoda, a guy in South Africa, he's South African UK. He partnered with a guy called Steve Kalakoda, who's a very famous boxer from South Africa. Sadly, he actually passed away a few months ago. But they were doing it, I think, formally 2012. But since that, I think Steve and other partners were doing it from the 90s, doing stuff in Japan. But I'd say Kalakoda in Southern and West Africa was rocking from 2012. And the name came from the namesake, a very famous boxer from South Africa.
Absolutely.
Yes, and of course now we are talking about boxing promotion. Basically, it's a company that promotes boxing at the moment, of course, in Africa, in East Africa. I'm just curious, what is boxing promotion? Just for our listeners who maybe are coming across the word for the first time, what is boxing promotion?
I'd kind of break it down as what I do and what the promoter. So I'm not the promoter. You're even lucky to get me in front of a camera. I'm normally in front of my laptop at home, but the promotion is, and we don't just do boxing, we do darts, we do strongman, we're involved in other sports, but it's basically, I'd say, in its simplest form, is creating a platform for athletes to partake, and that platform is a physical thing in the sense of a ring in a venue, but also creating the full ecosystem of a broadcast partner, radio partners, media partners, and basically creating an ecosystem for athletes to perform, for people to watch physically and via broadcast. So I'd say we're promoting events and we're promoting individuals. So that's kind of where we're trying to come in now and partner with TV47. We're trying to take Kenyan boxing to the international stage through the broadcasts that we have outside of Kenya, but in Kenya, and also take Kenyan boxers also like byproducts will go to that international stage as well. So that's kind of our job, providing the platform, which we did a proof of concept last November, our first one in East Africa. Went really well, and off the back of that now we've signed a multi-year deal with broadcast partners in Kenya, and then also we have our licensed partners outside in the region and internationally. So that's the platform there. And then the other aspect is the show is regular. So we do 11 this year, 12 next year, and 12 onwards. So the Friday Fight Nights, the international show, is allowing to promote Kenyan boxing, but Kenyan boxers in a sustainable way. So that's my job, to create an ecosystem for the stars to stand. That's why I don't like being in front of the camera. I let the promoter and the boxers be the stars. So we create the platform and then perform, do your thing.
When you talk about the Kenyan boxing scene, and how do you see the Kenyan boxing scene? Do we have enough talent?
So much talent, and it was apparent in our last fight. So the proof of concept, we brought the first British professional boxer ever to fight in Kenya. So he came over and he was the UK amateur champion. He was fighting I think he was 51 kg, so flyweight. I think he's 4 fights 0. So he's like a real prospect in the UK, a guy called Lucas Dubé. So he's one that they're nurturing to be like, okay, let's get this guy to, the top of the game at that weight. So we put him against a Tanzanian guy, which we thought would be an easier fight for the English guy. He's early in his career, like, let's have an easy fight. And that fight was, some people even said the Tanzanian, it was like a real 50-50 fight, and that just showed, one of the best prospects in the UK came over, fought someone we thought was, he's not the most highly ranked in Tanzania, and that fight was 50-50. So the talent is there. I think it's just, they don't have the platform. That UK guy's fighting again in February. He'll fight again in May. He'll fight again in August. And he's being very well looked after by our partners in the UK. Kenya, there's not that regularity to build, but the talent is there. It's just it's just kind of prevented flourishing because of the lack of sustainable platform. And also then you can't commit. Like, the UK guys can commit because they know, I've signed 2 years, I've signed 3 years, I've got a runway of fights here, which is a runway of money. Whereas, the Kenyan ecosystem is a bit stop-start. So I'd be like, well, I'll do my boxing, but let me cover my back here a bit. So we've created a structure now, so, the boxers that work, with Calacoda, they know we have 11 fights, so they can fight as much as they want, the talent is there. It's just prevented from getting it's a bit stop-start. Might fight once, then go quiet, then fight again. So that's the main problem.
Yes, because it's a conversation we've had here in terms of boxing. I had this argument that we don't have events, we don't have consistent events for our boxers. So you might have a talented boxer, but as long as he or she is not fighting consistently, it tends, of course, they'll go and do other things and leave the boxing. So the moment you said we have several events, of course, for the year that maybe covers the whole year, it helps in that helps in that aspect. But I also want just to get your thoughts on just boxing in the world globally at the moment. Because for me, I've had an issue in terms of these exhibition fights. I usually say when a professional, that is, for example, Anthony Joshua, decides to fight maybe a YouTuber, it dwindles down the purity of the sport. That is boxing as a sport. Because I've seen boxing now go that direction more than having the pro fights. I don't know, what are your thoughts about those exhibition matches? Yes.
Like like the problem is you watch it, right? Like you still watch it, and it has I think it has a place. And you've even seen it creep into East Africa with Mandonga, maybe Majembe now. People, there's two aspects, I think, and maybe boxers in the US or the UK are slightly better at this, is creating an interest just outside of my boxing skills. Like, maybe you don't have to go full Jake Paul and go crazy, but there was a good fight this weekend between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. There was some stuff said before that was a bit like that, but they're kind of dancing on the stage, they are top level, but they're also creating an entertainment aspect.
The entertainment bit,
so I'd say it's not, I don't think it's long term, and it's got a small place in the sport, but I think there's a lot to learn from a Jake Paul who, because it makes the job of a promoter a lot easier, because it's attracting eyeballs, it's attracting sponsors. So there is that element of kind of pantomime to play, and probably one of the companies that I think is the gold standard of boxing promotion and sport promotion is called Matchroom Boxing, and the owner of that is a guy called Barry Hearn. He's maybe 77 now, so his son is running it and running it very well. But he said they used to do snooker, and made it very big in the UK. And it was like, snooker's quite a boring sport, unless you love snooker, it's quite boring. And he said he used to sit with the players and say, okay, everyone needs a personality. So like the boring guy, he was like, be more boring. Lean into personalities. Like this specific guy, like if you're like the crazy guy, turn up and sing on the stage, just like add little bits to your personality. And I think that's kind of like, he's like, it is still a show, so we do need to bring entertainment. And I think that's one that resonated with me when he just said, we had the most boring snooker player in the world, and I sat with him and said, be more boring. Drink water. Don't just say yes and no in your interviews. So
basically the personality, let it show.
Like maybe exaggerate little aspects.
Basically what the UFC does. Technically what it does.
For the 4 years that you've been in Kenya, the sports that get attention more than, let's say, athletics, football, get a bit of attention a lot, and boxing not that much. What do you think this could be the reason? Is it the marketing? Is it the love for the sport that fans don't have?
Yeah, I think it's just the regularity. I think if you put something in someone's face enough times, you know, like Hilda said, the UFC. Like, I can't. They're so regular with their events. You can't kind of not get dragged into it, or it comes up on your feed, or you see it on the sport website, or you see it on the radio. So I think first is having an ecosystem that creates regular events, and then off the back of that, then I think the marketing engine starts. But yeah, I think the problem is people aren't seeing boxers enough to, you know, if I'm a core boxing fan in Kenya, I'm watching 1-2 fights a year. In the UK we have 300 plus fights a year, so like it's just like non-stop, you know, like you don't even have to go looking for it. So I think that's part of it. I think the what do they say, like as the ball rolls down the hill it'll pick more snow or something like that. I think I've made that up, but but I think once the fights start happening, then
the momentum.
The momentum.
Go with
you start seeing it more and more and more, and then personalities start coming out. You know, and like celebrity boxers will start coming out. You know, like I don't think there's like, you know, when you look at the boxers in the UK or US, like they might have like you know, the top ones have millions of followers. Like I think in Kenya, I don't think many have more than 10,000, you know, so like because they've just not been seen enough. So I think it all kind of snowballs, that's the word, once we kind of get moving.
Yes, and of course, as you said, there are different events planning for the year. I'm just curious as well about the women. Of course, you're planning the events. I don't know what you think about the women boxers currently in our country, in terms of the talent and of course the opportunities for women as well. No, I think I think women boxing globally has like there was a card in the UK between Ellie Boutel and Francesca Hennessy that was the headline, and obviously we saw Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, so I think the whole movement, whereas I think 5-10 years ago it would have been hard to name many big women boxers globally, so I think generally the movement is there. We'll always make sure we have women on the cards, and even just women around boxing, you know, like we'll make sure we have women MC or you know, the whole event needs to kind of because we want to attract, you know, not just the boxing purists, we want to attract all sorts of people. So I think women boxers in Kenya, obviously we've had Zarika, we've got Sarah Cheng, I think before my time of being here, Conjestina is the name that always comes out. So I think the talent is definitely there, and we have a lot of really good amateurs who are now kind of speaking to us about potentially becoming professional. But I think the talent is there. It just, again, we just need to put them on platforms and give them that opportunity. With the main events that now you guys are planning to have this year, that is 11 events every month, because starting with I think 27th this month, what kind of employment for Kenyans does this create for the locals? So on the Friday fight nights, we've brought in a team now. The first show was, let's say it was kind of done slapdash, it was a proof of concept. Now we've built, like I said, my job is to build the ecosystem and then make sure it still works. So now I think Marvin Aboya was on with Joe and Nicolette in the morning last week. So he is our head of boxing. So now he can, he already looks after boxers, but you know, we can bring him into a position. We've got another very respected guy called Benson Gacharu, who was a 2-time Olympian, who can kind of formally come in and help now. And it just kind of creates like the team now. I think we have 7 people who are kind of full-time with us. It will become more full-time. We have a concept, a format that we've signed but I've not released formally, which is a weekly show for the grassroots. That's the one for job creation. That's the one where, yes, the boxers we'll have 20 boxers every week fighting, getting good minimum purses, but then you'll have a coach, a second in the corner, a referee, a judge. You know, the whole thing takes people, so the boxing community directly will benefit. But also there's obviously those indirect aspects as well. So I think we're slowly ramping up. So now we have a team. Let's say we didn't have a team in November, now we have
a core team. And that'll widen as we introduce the grassroots community aspect.
Yeah, and it's something that caught my eye a few weeks ago. Of course, it's the partnership with the YouTuber that is Ale Oladipo. Yes. How did that come about, and what is it about him? Yes, that made you know this is a partner to have, and of course it will help now grow what we are doing. Yes.
So again, before my time, but Ade used to work, and maybe my details are slightly wrong, but we'll see. But he used to work with Calacoda in 2018 in Southern Africa and West Africa. I think through Kwese TV. So I think he worked there and then did all the boxing shows for Calacoda. So him and Saul, the let's say the big boss, have always had a very good relationship. So Ade came to the last show more in secret because I think he was like, I want a holiday. He'd just come from doing the Chris Eubank Conor Benn fight, which was like 60,000. So he came here and was like, I don't want to be in front of a camera. I just want to chill and enjoy it. And so then he's kind of come on as part of the business as more strategically. He can really guide. I remember after the show he rated the show a 3-4 out of 10. So he's coming with those international standards, which is great. Like, otherwise we might believe our own hype and be like, the show was perfect. He was like, this was wrong, this was wrong. You need this. This lighting was here. Like all these things I didn't see, but he's coming at it from the DAZN level.
Because he has done DAZN.
So he's done that level.
And they're the boxing guys.
So at the moment I just lean into him for kind of just advice. He's doing it week in, week out. So he's kind of been around the space and knows how to put on what a good show looks like.
Brilliant.
Sports, and now this is boxing. It comes with tourism, right? And I don't know if all these are like what you have last November. How do you think it plays and helps promote tourism for Kenya, Kenya generally as a nation?
No, I think there's massive help, and we're having some really good conversations around that. But every fight we're bringing international fighters. So I think that's the aspect to get the international eyeballs on Kenyan boxing, but also allow Kenyan boxers to compete against international international fighters. So there's always that international element. So we have the eyeballs from our international partners, US, UK, regionally, because of the interest. But also I think what I noticed last time was the UK team who came, I felt like they were like a bit apprehensive. There was that feeling like they kept telling me about yellow fever. They were like, we don't have it, we can't come. And I was like, no, it's okay, come. So I felt like there was apprehension. Like, trust me, those guys left like, when can we come back? So yes, we're getting massive awareness to people of just showing Kenya, and we'll work with different partners to show, we want to do certain things in, I won't say the exact locations, but we want to do weigh-ins in areas that show off Kenya. We want to do a fight in one place that would show off crazy Kenya rather than like just a general whole. So there's that aspect, but I think the aspect that resonated more with me was bringing people from smaller communities in the UK who might not, maybe traditionally not travel to a Kenya. They might prefer, let's go to France, let's go to Spain. They came and were like, loved it, and then they've gone back, and now we've got a long list of boxers who are like let me come next. So I think there's two aspects. There's the massive awareness, but also just bringing people who then go and tell their mate, go and tell another boxer, go and tell their coach. And we've seen kind of already the small impact of that. Yes,
and of course, as you continue planning for events, of course, collaborations and partnerships are key. So how hard or how easy has it been to get people on board, especially, let's say, corporates that come on board and support the events, of course, that you're planning for the year?
It's been I think initially, before the proof of concept, was a bit harder because, yes, we've done over 70 shows in Southern and West Africa, but I think they want to see what does it look like? What's the audience? What's your reach? Like, is it something we want to attach our brand to? So the conversation, we invited most of those corporates to
come and do.
Just come watch, see what it is. If it's bad, equal sour. That's the easiest way. So then off the back of that, we've had now the conversations have opened up. It's like, okay, we met your team, we saw the production, I even sent them the reports that we would send a partner. This is the reach we got across Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya, UK, US. This is the demographic. My background is data science, so I'm much more comfortable in front of this thing. But yeah, so we almost did that as a dry run, which I think was massively needed to give them the confidence that this is the product. Do we align to it? Do we not? So the ones that do, now the conversations have been a lot easier. And it allows us then to unlock longer term, like the ecosystem, like I'm saying, isn't sustainable if we'll go from Greg's company to Hilda's company and move around like that. It's more sustainable if we say, let's go on a journey together.
It's a long term.
We'll align properly. As we grow, you grow.
Yes.
Rather than this kind of like, let's chase a bit of money here and a bit of money here. Like it doesn't really work for anyone, like the promoter, but also the sponsors, because they're kind of in and they're not in. So the conversations we've been having on a long term basis now have become a lot more easy, let's say.
Kenyans, for the 4 years we've been in Kenya, you know that Kenyans love sherehe. Right?
Yeah.
And sports, also, if you incorporate sherehe and sports, there are high chances you might attract more people to come for the event. I don't know, as you plan for the 11 events there for the year, is there an aspect of entertainment that is going to be incorporated in the 11 events?
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's, if we just do pure boxing, the pool, let's say the pool is 100 people. Like if we just do pure boxing, but if we introduce a music element, we might get those fringe people. If we introduce a bit of a party element, like before you know it, that pool might become 500 people. So no, we're fixed on boxing is the vehicle. But it's all about getting an audience. The value is, can we get the right audience to the venue? There'll always be those die-hard boxers, but we want to curate something that appeals to a wider range than just one sort of person. You might find a die-hard, but then to the edge of that we might have, they like boxing, they like sport, but they also just like a good energy in a good space with good musicians. So
just want vibes.
Exactly.
Yes, and I'm just curious. I would love to pick your brain on just sort of the African market at the moment in terms of boxing. What do you think it makes the African market maybe unique compared, let's say, to the US market, compared to the UK where you come from as well? What is that unique aspect of the African market?
I think, if I'm right, Ade did it in a post. He'd come from a 60,000 seater show, which was great. He's like, it was awesome. But he said there was like this, like, I don't know, in the show that like rawness of energy, like it was, he just said it was just like an energy. Like, yes, there wasn't 60,000 people in a room, but he just said there was just a little bit of a different energy. He said it was hard to put his finger on it, but he just said, there's something there. So just keep magnifying that. So I think that's it. I think there's just that. There's just a bit more. I don't know. Like, I don't know how you'd describe it, but he just said the energy, the atmosphere was unique.
It's different
in a positive way.
And then now the kind of support that you guys are getting from, like, say, bodies like Kenya Professional Boxing Commission, what kind of support do they give you as Kalakoda Promotions to make sure that you help promote boxing within the country?
No, we get good support. So I've kind of been around boxing without being in boxing for a while, so I've kind of, let's say, built the relationship up with Honourable Ndolo and his team without being like, let me put a show on. So no, we have a good relationship where they'll help us with, let's say, the boxing basics, the things that we need. We need judges, we need referees, we need it sanctioned, we need certain, they make sure we tick the boxes and hold ultimately to account the promotion. So they help that, and then obviously they help a lot in the media aspects of things. So no, we work well with them, and they have like a flexibility where we can come with ideas. This is what we're thinking, like, and kind of shape them together, and even sometimes sit down and they'll say, how about you make this fight look like this? So the next fight is we have 2 title fights for the 2 big boys, the cruiserweight and the heavyweight. And that was in collaboration with those guys. Mr. Ndolo said, let's shape it like this. Let's put a belt on the line. We can do this belt. So they do the basic of, let's make sure this show is safe, is properly run, from a boxing perspective, but then also we have that, you know, collaborative aspect of where we can shape things to, you know, they have more years in the game than me, so I'd be stupid not to listen.
Yes, and of course you said your background is in data, in data. Can you just give us just maybe the importance, of course, of data generally in sports? In sports, and maybe now narrow it down now to boxing, what you do now. Yes.
Yeah, I think in sport, like we look after a rugby club in France, so the data that is involved in that is crazy. How you select players, you know, how we can say that this player is better than this player, but you're like, this guy is huge and this guy is tiny. You know, there's like little aspects that we're looking at. So in terms of the performance aspect, data is huge. In boxing here, I'd love to speak to someone who integrates it somewhere, but maybe on the performance of strength and conditioning side. But I guess my interest is in understanding on the, let's say, the user, the consumer, like really understanding them, because that's what the corporates are always asking. Great, you're putting on a really nice show, but like, who are you getting my brand to interact with? Why can't I just put a billboard up on Gong Road and interact with them? Why do I have to go to Mass House? You know, so like that aspect is very important in that conversation, to say this is exactly who we are speaking to. They're here, this is what they do, this is how your brand should speak to them. So I'd say at the moment that's
that's the focus at the moment
for me
now.
For
you now, that's
on the sports side. I'd be lying if I'm sure the gym guys have some data that they're looking at, but mine is more on the who are we, what is our audience, and how do we make that work for the
potential
for the
partners that
exactly.
you're looking for.
Now the 11 shows, the 11 events that you guys are planning to have in 2026, are they, all of them are going to be held in Nairobi, or you guys are going to go, let's say, Mombasa, or other parts of the country? Are you going to now, should I say, devolve? Could there be challenges of devolving?
No, there shouldn't be at all. So we've partnered with Mass House, which were like an unbelievable venue to be at. And it really, the reason we did there was because it was plug and play. They have the staging, they have the lighting, they have this kind of Colosseum aspect. So everything was perfect. And we partnered with them for this year. There might be the odd show that we take around on a needs basis. Like I said, there's a few conversations we're having with different partners to take a show to this a couple of crazy locations. Especially from a Kenya tourism aspect. So the plan is to devolve. At first, the hotbed is obviously Nairobi. But the plan is to devolve, especially through the more grassroots show, which is lower production, so easier to move around. So we've already looked at Nakuru, Mombasa, Kisumu, and Nairobi. So there, when we launch that, which will be around April time, that'll be a weekly show, and we'd probably do 3 in Nairobi, 1 in somewhere else. Just to start tapping into, and it also benefits the brands that we come with. They say, how do we target this community here? You know, how do we get our brand known with the people you've got in Nairobi, but those same people in Nakuru? So that malleability is something that the grassroots has, but on the bigger show, the international show, we'll also look at maybe 1, 2 or 3 we've marked as marquee shows, which will be like even bigger, which will take around potentially to interesting locations.
Yes, and of course we can't have a boxing event without the boxers. They're the athletes. They're the priority. And just, I'm very curious now, as an organization at the moment, you will have several boxers, of course, during the cards, of course, during the year. What are some of the things that you are taking care in terms of just making sure they're okay financially as well, because financially is very important. It's something a lot of our boxers and a lot of our athletes have struggled with. They don't get paid for their services. So what, as an organization, what are you guys doing just to make sure everybody is sorted and everybody is happy to participate?
I think the first thing is we give a minimum purse, so we won't, you know, even if we stepped in today, we're getting a minimum purse, you know, like, so, and at the moment that is a good amount for the market. Obviously the bigger names, like, they don't care about minimum purse because they know they're way above that, but one thing we wanted to guarantee, even if we bring a guy from Uganda or a guy who's had 20 fights and lost all 20, he will get the minimum purse. You know what I mean? So we kind of put that as a line in the sand.
Okay.
And then still on pay, the main thing is the money goes to the boxer. The hand, my hand to the boxers, or my M-Pesa to the boxers. But like, there is no intermediate. And then obviously we can't 100% control what happens to that money, but my job is to make sure after the fight, and we made sure a big point of this, you know, the boxer comes in, we pay the boxer, are they happy? And then, you know what I mean, it goes straight into their pocket, into their hand, and they can kind of then, rather than it goes to someone else who might have, so because they're the person who, it's their money, so it goes straight to them. And then I think just in terms of supporting generally, we work like we have Benson, like I mentioned, and we have another person who, let's say, we have 3 people, 2 on fighter welfare, who are just kind of speaking to the fighter, letting them know your next fight is this, this is what we're even thinking, let's start strategizing, rather than just the boxer feels like, I don't know where I'm going. So we want to make sure they know, this is my first fight, this is my second fight, and there's a bit of a goal. So we have these, Benson is leading that. And I think the reason, I've known Benson for many years, but he's very credible in the industry, he's very trusted, so people feel warmth around him rather than me coming in and saying this is what it is. Like they're like, I've known this guy for 10 years, you know, I'm comfortable around him. So we kind of have that aspect, and then the other aspect is also working on them on building their own profile. So we have a videographer full time who works around the boxers, helps them on their social medias, because obviously that's the other aspect where they can kind of start thinking about creating a brand. That brand can be used in boxing, which benefits the promotion and themselves, but it can also be used in other aspects if they were doing personal training or after boxing. So yeah, I think that's it. First thing is their pay. Like let's not cover up the pay with other stuff. The main thing is money, so we make sure they get paid well and they get paid to them. The second things are more, let's help you on your branding, let's help you on your strategy, you know, those sort of things. So
and once you I know this is now getting into the money, but once you pay to them, because many times these athletes or sports people, they get money, but that money gets, let me use the word, wasted. Then you don't see what they did with that money. I don't know if once you guys have given them the money, do you maybe kind of work with people to advise them on how to, like the other day, the guys who are playing for Arambe Stars got some money from the government, and now there were so many people who wanted to come out to just guide them on how to use that money in the right way. Do you guys also do that?
Not at the moment, but it's a good idea. It'd be something, especially if they can be, if we're saying to a boxer, especially the boxers we work with, and we can say, you will get 4 fights a year, let's start thinking, because you can predict what that income is. You know, because every fight, like you say, the minimum, but even every fighter has their own minimum. So they could even say, even if I fight the smallest fights possible, I'm getting $1,000, $1,000, $1,000, $1,000. So like, we can start understanding like that, but at the moment, no. But maybe as well as we build stronger relations with these boxers, that might be a conversation. It might need a bit deeper trust.
Absolutely. And many times when you speak about sports, most on the show, we always talk about growing the sport from the school level. I don't know if boxing is also part of that, where we start nurturing the talent when the kids are still young, primary school or even high school. Is it something that's possible, or are there systems that need to be put in place for it to work for the school going children, so that those who have talent in boxing can be nurtured while still young? There is conversations about that. That's one of the sort of conversations we're having. The guys in South Africa, that was something that Saul was, the big boss, was quite firm on, not just boxing but other sports in school. He's kind of helped, I don't know what the governing body in South Africa is, but he's integrated it there. So it's a conversation we've kind of been having in the background on how we how it fits into a school curriculum, or how it kind of allows, and it might just be to do with working with local gyms. So that's something we've started, and Benson again owns a local gym and is well connected, so maybe kind of working with local gyms to help them, you know, nurture talent from the age of 10, 11, 12, and maybe Calicoda can then be seen as the pathway
to turning professional and going forward. So yeah.
Yes, and now for how does Kalakoda look like maybe in the next 10 years?
I'd say Kalakoda in Kenya. So our boxing ecosystem is pretty well set. We have the international shows and the grassroots shows. Like I said, we have other formats that we're finalising the dates of rolling out, which is darts and strongman. So they'll be coming across 2026. We're just kind of finalising the paperwork and the dates for them, which will be international competitions in those sports. But again, sustainable. Like we don't just do a one-off and disappear. That's why it takes a bit of time to build it. So those formats will follow similar. And then in terms of Kenya, then it's just about, keep doing the right things and it'll keep growing. Because we have the base now, we have the number of fights, we have the ecosystem, so it's just doing the right things within the ecosystem and it'll keep growing. But then the plan for Kalakoda is to roll out a similar structure in Tanzania. So I'll be in Tanzania at the end of the week talking about that, and Uganda next. Before we let's say increase what we're doing in Southern Africa.
You've talked about grassroots. Is it the young lions?
Yeah. How do you know? Yeah. You've been checking my emails.
I don't know if you would you share more?
Yeah.
So that our listener can also understand what Young Lions is, the idea behind it.
Yeah. So I guess we look at it as a pyramid. So Friday Fight Nights is the premium international product. But it still needs the platform below it at the community grassroots level to be. That only works if there's stuff feeding it. It's like the Premier League.
It's a feeder.
If the Premier League is just the Premier League without the Championship, League 1, League 2, eventually the talent, no one's going to. Jamie Vardy's not going to appear in the Premier League because he wasn't playing. There was nowhere for him to play. So the whole idea is to create for the Friday Fight Nights is for the creme de la creme in East Africa and international boxing to compete. So the Young Lions is to give the platform to those people who want to get to the creme de la creme, to build, get used to being on television. It'll all be broadcast, get used to being on a big stage in front of a lot of people, and just show themselves off so they can move up that rank. So that's in terms of career aspect.
So they will be promoted to there?
But the thing is, some of them might stay there, which isn't a bad thing. If I love boxing but I'm never going to be Floyd Mayweather, I might not get to the Friday Fight Nights, but I just want to box and I'm okay at it and I love it and I can make money out of it. So the Young Lions also provides that platform. It's not just the top guys who can make money in a career, and that's where the job aspect comes in. Because every week there'll be 20 fighters fighting, again a minimum purse, which is much more competitive to what they would be earning, and they can maybe even fight based on their performance and damage they might take. They might be able to fight 2 times a month, maybe 3. I don't know the exact rules, but and it allows like a bit of an ecosystem. So Young Lions we're looking at April, the second week of April to start it. And it's all about just a platform for those fighters who are just turning professional to 10 fights to elevate themselves, or just remain there and box and earn from boxing.
And it's both men and women.
100%.
Brilliant. Yes, and just maybe on a lighter note, so you've been in boxing for a while. I don't know, what has boxing taught you about business?
The good thing is I try to keep out of the boxing side of it. So the day-to-day boxing, I try to keep out of it. But I think the main thing is just like it's taught me about it's something that I've been working with my boss on for a while. And he just said, just slow down, because I was like, we can do a show tomorrow. And he's like, if you do that show tomorrow, what are you going to do the next day? So I think it's just taught me just understand how things work and just slowly pull things together before clicking go. So like the November show was, although it was our proof of concept, we kind of had everything lined up in the background. So then signing the multi-year deal was kind of already there. So I think the main thing was just to kind of like, naturally I'm quite hasty, I'm like, let's do it. Whereas he said, let's just get a few more things in place so it's there tomorrow. It's not like you finish that show and then you're like, okay, what do I do now? So I think that was the main bit. But
you have to pace yourself.
And just build it first. It can wait a little bit. Let's just get it proper.
But apart from Nairobi, when you travel around the country and talk about boxing, to maybe just the ordinary Kenyan, what kind of reception do you see from them? Is this something they love, or they show that they are passionate about? Do you see such a passion from fans?
Yeah, I see it in certain areas. So I've done 2 trips recently, one to Mombasa and one to Nakuru. And it's there, but you have to kind of look for it a little bit. You have to go to the boxing gym. It's not like you're finding a guy walking around in a Floyd Mayweather t-shirt, like he is in a Man United t-shirt. So it's a bit more hidden, but I think it's there. And I think obviously Kenya has a rich history a while back in boxing.
Yes.
So that, and it's the same with darts.
Yeah.
Everyone always tells me, the guys who are around 40s, 50s, 60s are like, darts, we used to do this all the time. So it's there. It just kind of needs a bit of, unearthing and shining a light on. So I think when we go around, yes, it's there. We are looking for it a little bit. So that might be the case. But I've done a lot of traveling around Tanzania and noticed it's there because of the regular shows. They even had a show this weekend. There it's, the woman who kind of is my main introducer in Tanzanian boxing is a 60-year-old lady, and she's about 4 foot tall, and she's never boxed in her life, but she just loves it because she loves Mandonga passion. And she saw a fight here in Arusha. So I'd say in Tanzania it's stronger because of that visibility. But it's there, but more small pockets at the moment, I'd say.
As we finalize our conversation, maybe all this you do, there have to be challenges that you have seen. Are there challenges that maybe you see in helping promote boxing in Kenya and even the entire region? And what are those maybe possible solutions here that you could suggest to help mitigate the challenges that you see?
Do we see challenges? I don't think there's nothing that's like, oh, that's a roadblock. There's a few small things, but I think the overwhelming feedback we got was people are crying out, especially the core boxing fans, to watch boxing. So the consumer is there, and the boxer is there. So obviously our first show, we have good relations, but I think a lot of people were sitting back and watching to the boxers to see let's see this. Is it gonna be something I want to partake in? So I think after that show we noticed massively, a lot of boxers are like, can I fight on the next show? Can I sign? Can I do this? So challenge wise, I feel like all the challenges are kind of solved by doing the right things and creating an ecosystem that fits the consumer and fits the boxer. I think if those two are looked after, the challenges aren't. There's nothing that's impossible. It's not like we don't have boxers, or we don't have people to. We're going to get 10 people to watch a fight, or we're only going to get one person in the ring and the other guy's not going to turn up. Stuff like that, and then all the other little challenges are more small things. So the fundamentals are there.
Absolutely.
Yes, and maybe a final one from me is, of course, you have the 11 shows in 2026. Maybe you just can tell our listeners or somebody who loves boxing, or also the casual watchers, maybe what to expect in those shows, the 11 shows that will be taking place in 2026.
So, off the top of my head, I'd say international. So, like this fight, we have 2 UK guys, a South African guy, and a Zimbabwe national champion. So, there's always high level of international talent coming across, which is great. And then on the other side, I'd say get used to knowing Kenyan boxers. You can look at our Instagram, we're shining lights on these guys, bringing out their personalities. So I think that's an international aspect and a real drive into understanding who these Kenyan boxers are as they progress and giving them a clear progression. And then I think the other aspect is the entertainment aspect that we talked on earlier. So don't just expect boxing, expect. Last time Y-Ray was there performing, we had big name DJs who I don't even know, but people are telling me. So, and we have the right people there. So it is kind of just an energy. It's an entertainment. So good boxing with an international element and high level of entertainment from kind of all areas.
Absolutely. And by the way, have they ever told you that you look like Hurricane?
I'm not commenting.
But thank you so much.
No, pleasure.
Thank you so much, Greg Cox, the CEO of Kalakoda East Africa, just giving us a lowdown on what's happening in terms of boxing promotion in the country and of course across East Africa. Time now is about 5 minutes to 12 noon. This is SportyFM and you're listening to the Breakpoint Show.
SportyFM, Beyond Sport.